Hello everyone and welcome to MES's e-learning channel. In this video, we will be seeing how to solve a problem on voltage divider bias configuration. So here we have the circuit diagram. Looking at it, we can easily find out this is voltage divider bias configuration. Now as we know, we will have to simplify this diagram by applying Thevenin's theorem. So we will have to find out two parameters which are VTH and RTH respectively. VTH is nothing but Thevenin's voltage and RTH is nothing but Thevenin's resistance. So to find out RTH, we will have to short circuit the voltage sources present in the circuit diagram and we will have to open circuit the load. So let's do that. If we do that, we will have something like this. So we have R1, R2 and between these 2 points we will have RTH. So we know the values of R1 and R2. So since R1 and R2 are in parallel, RTH is nothing but R1 into R2 upon R1 plus R2. So let's solve it. R1 is 39 kilo ohm and R2 is 3.9 kilo ohm. So never forget to multiply this by 10 raised to 3 since it is kilo ohm and then add these two. So 39 plus 3.9, 10 raised to 3. So both of this will anyways be cancelled out and RTH is equal to 3.54 kilo ohm. So this is the value of RTH. Now we will find out VTH, which is Thevenin's voltage. So Thevenin's voltage is calculated across the load resistance. So this is Thevenin's voltage over here. So we will have to simplify the diagram like we saw in the analysis. So let's redraw it. So since this is plus VCC and this is ground, let's connect them both. If we do that, we will have something like this. So this is plus VCC, negative plate will be connected to ground. So this is R1, this is R2 and then this is the rest of the diagram. Okay, so you will have to draw that as well. This is CRE. So now VTH is over here. So VTH is equal to the voltage drop across R2. So suppose current I is flowing through R2. So suppose current I is flowing through R2, VTH is going to be I into R2. So now we will have to find out I. So to do that, we will apply KVL. Okay. So let's apply KVL. So when we apply KVL in this loop, we have VCC, then we have minus IR1 and then we have minus IR2 equal to 0 since we have approached ground. Now we know the values of VCC, we know the value of R1 and R2. So let's substitute all of those values. So VCC is 22 volts minus IR1 is equal to 39 kilo ohm. So 39 into 10 raised to 3 minus R2 is 3.9 kilo ohm. So 10 raised to 3 equal to 0. So let's take I common. So I is equal to 22 upon these two terms. So it is 39 into 10 raised to 3 plus 3.9 into 10 raised to 3. So when you solve this term, you will have I equal to some value which is 5.12 into 10 raised to minus 4 A, which is amperes, the unit of current. So once we have found out I, we have to substitute the value of I over here and we can easily calculate VTH. So VTH is equal to I, which is this value right here, 5.12 into 10 raised to minus 4 into R2. So R2 is nothing but 3.9 into 10 raised to 3.9 kilo ohms. So when you solve this, you get VTH is equal to 2 volts. So we have found out VTH. So we have both the values, we have RTH as well as VTH. So once you get these values, you have to draw the simplified diagram and then you have to apply KVL in the input loop as well as output loop. So once we got the values of VTH and RTH, we have drawn the simplified diagram, and now as we know, we have to find out two parameters which are IC and VCE. These two are nothing but the Q point coordinates or the coordinates of operating point. So we know that to find out IC, we have to apply KVL in the input loop, and to find out VCE, we have to apply KVL on the output loop or on the output side, which is this side over here. But to find out IC, what we do is we find out IB first and then we get IC automatically because IC and IB are related. How? IC is equal to beta IB. So once we get the value of IB, we simply multiply it with beta and we get the value of IC. So let's begin and apply KVL in the input side to find out IB. So the very first parameter is VTH minus the voltage drop across RTH, which is IB, the current which is flowing through it, into resistor. So we have IB into RTH. Then we have VBE, so minus VBE and then minus IE RE equal to 0. Now we can see that there are two current terms. We have IB and we have IE. We are interested in finding out IB. So now let's find out how IE and IB are related, and then what we can do is we can substitute its equivalent IB term, IE's equivalent IB term, so that we get only IB in the equation. So we know that IE is equal to beta plus 1 IB, right? So we know this equation. So what we can do is we can replace this IE term with its equivalent value, which is nothing but in terms of IB. So let's rewrite it: VTH minus IB RTH minus VBE minus beta plus 1 IB into RE equal to 0. Now we have only IB terms. There is no IE term present. Now what we have to do is we have to take IB on one side. So before we do that, let's take IB common for the ease of solving. So RTH and then we have plus beta plus 1 into RE and we have minus VBE equal to 0. So now what we can do is we can take IB on one side because we are interested in finding out IB. So we have IB over here, then we have VTH minus VBE, and then in the denominator we have this term RTH plus beta plus 1 into RE. Now you can see that we know all the values of these parameters over here. So let's substitute them. We know VTH is equal to 2 volts, VBE is given as 0.7 volts, and then RTH is equal to 3.5 kilo ohms. So 3.54 into 10 raised to 3 since it is kilo ohm, and then plus beta. So beta is nothing but 140, which is given in the question. So 140 plus 1 into RE. RE is 1.5 kilo ohms. So 1.5 into 10 raised to 3. So you will have to calculate this and once you solve it, you will get IB is equal to 6.04 into 10 raised to minus 6 amps. So once you have found out IB, what you have to do? You have to multiply it with beta so that you get IC. So beta is known to us, it is 140 into IB, which is nothing but this value, 6.04 into 10 raised to minus 6, and once you solve this, you get IC is equal to 8.456 into 10 raised to minus 4 amps. So this is the value of IC. So let's apply KVL in the output side to find out VCE. So the first parameter over here is VCC, then we have RC. So RC is going to be IC into RC minus we have VCE, and then we have RE. So the voltage drop across RE is the current IE which is flowing through it into the resistor. So IE, RE, and then finally we have approached ground. So this is equal to 0. Now we can see that we have two current terms IC and IE. We have already found out IC and we don't know the value of IE. So what we can do is we can replace this IE term with its equivalent IC term. So we already know that IC is approximately equal to IE. So what we can do is we can replace this IE over here with IC. So let's rewrite. So VCC minus ICRC minus VCE minus ICRE is equal to 0. Next what we can do is we can take IC common. So we have this term over here. Now finally we are interested in finding out VCE. So let's take VCE on one side. So VCE is equal to VCC minus IC into RC plus RE. Now we have the values of all the terms over here. So VCC is equal to 22 volts minus IC, which we already found out, which was 8.456 into 10 raised to minus 4, and RC is 10K. So 10 into 10 raised to 3 plus RE, which is 1.5K. So 1.5 into 10 raised to 3. So once you solve this equation, you get VCE is equal to 12.172 volts. So this is how we have calculated IC and VCE for voltage divider bias configuration. I hope you understood it. If you have any doubt, you can put them down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.